Where has Bamzi been for a minute? Bamzi has been taking care of himself. Superman, the African Superman, went through some kryptonite phases. I had problems with drugs. I had drug issues which I had to take care of. So for a minute there, I was really deep into that world, and I wasn't thinking clearly. So I had to get my senses straight, and then now get out of it, and then now get myself together. Now the kind of drugs when I was indulging in, when I started basically, we started basically the light, we call the gateway drug, which is like marijuana, weed. You start with that, then I started drinking, then I went into heavier things like cocaine and heroin, and that's when now things really got thick for me, because those are very addictive drugs. So like when I was on heroin, the first thing you wake up in the morning, the only thing you think about is getting your next hit or your next phase. You don't focus on being creative or doing music, you know what I mean? So it was really hard for me, and getting out of that life is very difficult. So I'm one of the lucky ones. It took me almost 2 years to get out of that life. 2 years, yeah. How has it been coming out of the drug life? Very difficult, especially for my family. Because those are the ones who I hurt the most, because they saw me deteriorating, and the rest of the world didn't know what exactly was going on with me. But it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, because it takes a lot out of you, self-confidence, self-esteem, physically, you're addicted to this thing that you can't do without, and you're dependent on it. It was very difficult. Even I'm still recovering till now. For example, like coming for this show right now, because I still have problems sleeping, I have insomnia, and I can't take any drugs for it, because they can only give you drugs for like a year or something, and then you have to phase off it. So even till today, I don't sleep properly, and I have nightmares, I have sweats. It's just side effects from the drugs, but it fades out pole, like slowly. But it's been really difficult. I'm still struggling till now. Yeah, when I started freestyling in the streets back in the days, it was like 98 Uko. I was just out of high school. I wasn't really trying to enter the music game, because I didn't think my style would work, because I used to rap in English. Babini, as guys call it. So I used to do it in English completely. And then there's a guy called Buddha Blaze, who used to work for a magazine back in the day. It was really big. It was called Fat Magazine. We used to go freestyling with DJ Adrian in a place called Q-Stakes in Westlands. And he wrote about me in his magazine, and from there on I started getting calls from all over, and I met Nazizi and Wairi, and he took me to Ted Josiah's studio, and basically that's where my career started, like in the streets, just freestyling. What happened to Necessary Noise? Now, Necessary Noise was my breakthrough. It's the group that really brought me into the limelight of music. Like I said, when I started freestyling back in the day, I used to do strictly hip-hop. But when I joined Necessary Noise and met my producers, Ted Josiah, my manager, David Morathi, and Nazizi and Wairi, they encouraged me to learn Sheng. I had to learn Sheng and do other kinds of music, like fusion. So in Necessary Noise, we used to mix reggae, hip-hop, and R&B. So it was very interesting. I learned a lot from there. I grew as an artist from there. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Until today, I believe that Necessary Noise 1 is one of the best albums that ever came out of Kenya. And I'm not just saying that because I was on it. Is there a possibility that Necessary Noise can come back together, the original ones? I hope so. I've been trying to get them on a track, just at least one, just to do something like we used to do back in the day. But it's been 10 years. People have moved on. People have families to raise. Nazizi moved to Malindi. She has a family to raise. Even the music she's doing right now, she had to put it on a chill pill kidogo, because it's really hard. But we have talked about it, and there's no beef between us at all. So it's gonna be possible, I'm sure. By the end of this year, I'm gonna put them together and we do something on my new style of music. What happened to Ted Josiah? When I left Necessary Noise and they did Necessary Noise 2, we kind of fell off a little bit. We didn't stay in communication, but I heard he went to UK and he didn't come back. He started doing film or something, soundtracks for movies and stuff, but I really don't know what really happened to him. I haven't been in contact with him. After the hit single Bounce, which I did with Gitch Boy, some would say that I went underground, and actually I would agree to that, because there's mainline music industry and underground music. But people don't know that there were songs I did before that, before the bounce came out. The bounce is just one of the things I like trying. It was a new style coming out. Those days, I've always been into house music. So I went to the studio and I asked Gitch Boy and Ambrose to make for me something with that house template. just to try, something new. And when it blew up, everybody's encouraged me to keep on doing that same style, and I don't like doing that. And Kenyans, especially the industry, they like doing that a lot. When they find something nice, they want to ride that thing for even 10 years. I'm always about challenging myself as an artist. So the music I started doing after the bounce was also different. I didn't want to do the same thing, and that kind of music wasn't successful mainline as much as the bounce. So there was music out there, it's just that a lot of people didn't get to hear it. Do I have another side hustle apart from music? Yes. When I was in uni, I did media studies, and I was very interested in radio and radio production. So apart from music, that's another thing that I do, although I haven't been doing it for a while. Hence, because of the drug issues, I used to work for Kiss 100, and I chilled on the music. Then after the drugs, when I was recovering, when I got out of the drugs, I decided to reboot my music career first and then get back on radio. And it's going well because I just got a gig at a radio station, and we'll see how that goes. I'm now working with Awesh, and he's produced me a couple of tracks, yes. Why I'm working with Awesh? Because, you see, when I came back into the industry, I wanted to come with something different. So I decided to combine all the genres of music that I love. Before, I was just known as a hip-hop artist. I decided I'm going to do alternative music, meaning that I'm going to alternate from genres. So I decided to put together a new genre of music to the world and to Kenya, where I combine all the genres of music that I love, which is EDM, that's electronic dance music, African music, Afro, and hip-hop, R&B, and dancehall. And I had to look for a producer who would understand that kind of mindset. And a lot of producers in Kenya are mainly about hip-hop or R&B or Afro soul, and not too much on the house and electronic kind of music. So I've been listening to Awesh's production, and I knew if I sat down with him and explained to him what I want, even if he wasn't really into the EDM or electronic house music kind of music, that we could sit down and come up with something. And it worked out. And he has that kind of experience. Plus, his music is very clean. And he after listening to what he did for Sauti Soul and some of the tracks that he's done in Sweden, I knew he was the right person to do it for me. Apart from working with Awesh, if I work with any other producers, yes, I will work with anybody who's ready, open-minded, and ready to try new things. I have worked with Babs on the track. Just before I started working with Awesh, I wanted to see how he could mix my new style, Mizuka, with the kind of hip-hop he was doing. We had a few tracks that came out. 254 mainly is the one that was heard by a lot of people. Another producer I've worked with is Provoke. I also started working with Juicy recently. I love that he's experimenting also with house music and fusing, and I love what he's done with other artists, because he's done from neo soul to hip-hop to R&B to Benga to African, and I thought this would be also a producer who I could work with, and if we combine my new style together, it would come out really well, and the music is sounding really, really good, really good. I'm really excited about it. Being out of the music industry for a while and me coming back right now, how I've seen it change, well, it's really changed a lot. I mean, the doors have opened a lot from when I started. I mean, for example, there's internet now, there's shows like this that promote Kenyan music, there's international companies coming in looking at Kenyan artists, there's a lot of support from companies and corporate companies. The pay is better for shows. There's a lot of exposure, and you can easily, for example, you can easily get on MTV, for example, international music stations like that, and be nominated for awards for things like that. So the music has really grown. Plus, Kenyans are more open-minded now. As in, this was the perfect time for me to release my new style. Like 5 years ago, if you tell people you're gonna do music that's house music and mix it with kapuka, for example, they look at you like you're mad. But right now they're really open to it, and I love it. It's because they're more exposed to the world. So it's really good. It's growing, but we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do, a lot. It's bado ijafika. I want us to be like Nigerians. Nigerians are very good because they support each other. Even Bongo artists, they support each other, and Ugandan artists. And that's the one of the things that we as Kenyan artists, we don't, that's why we're not moving forward. Because someone like Octopizzo, for example, will release a track, and Bamzi won't support it because he sees like it's competition. And that's not the thing. There's enough room for everybody. The industry is so huge, you know. We should support each other. And that's how Nigerians get ahead. Because Ice Prince will release a track, you'll find which other artist is talking about it on his Twitter, like, yo, Ice Prince is a new track, and everybody, you know, they all support each other. That's what we need. We need togetherness. My future plan, right now I started a movement called 3050, which is basically the year 3050. I'm looking towards doing music that's futuristic and taking Kenya and Kenyan music to the next level. That's why the music I do nowadays, before I used to concentrate on a lot on like, oh, when I write a song, I want someone in Lodwar to understand me. I want someone, you know, basically for the Kenyan market. And I'm not saying that I've left that. I'm just saying we are capable of reaching the world. You know, the music I'm doing right now, I get fans from Russia, from Japan, from South Africa, from Yugoslavia. In some other countries, you're like, you know, that's what I want. I want to take music to the future. I want to get back on radio and, you know, just do my thing and try and establish like a career in radio. And I want to sign new artists. I want to promote music. I want to promote Kenyan artists. You know, just basically just be in your face when it comes to the industry. Words of advice I'd have for upcoming artists and people who look up to me: never give up on your dream and do you. Don't do things, you know, if you like wearing Timberlands, wear them because you like wearing them. Don't wear them because someone says they're cool, or you're wearing Converse now because it's cool. Wear it because you've always loved it. Just be you and follow your dream. And if you're going into the music industry, be ready to experiment, you know. Don't limit yourself to one genre and tell yourself like, fine, if you love doing hip hop and that's what you're gonna do, that's fine. But don't limit yourself. Experiment, work on new things, and also don't try and be too international. Have your own identity, you know. If you're gonna do music like in English for international level, which I do right now, try and put some Swahili in there and try and let people know that you're Kenyan and this is how you are. Yes, in one of my tracks I'm mentioning to the haters to keep it on the down low, like, you know, hush. Actually, it's this new track featuring Nessa, Turn It Up. It's dedicated to the haters because, and not because I appreciate haters. Me, I love haters. I'm telling you, I love, in fact, I want more. Please, all of your haters, man, come on, bring it to me, because those are the ones who built you, basically. One thing you have to understand, when someone is hating on you, it means you're doing something well. People don't understand that logic. When haters start talking about you, it's because there's someone else saying something nice about you and it's disturbing them. So they reach out and they express themselves by hating. The reason why I was addressing them in this song is because I'm not really about diss tracks or dissing people, and I address everyone in general. So this song, Light It Up, which is for the haters, is just telling all you guys like, I am back, I am here, and no matter what darkness hole you put me up, I'm gonna light it up. And it's always gonna be there. I've managed to stay in the game and consistent for 10 years plus, and what's gonna stop me now? So thank you.